to characteristics, it focuses on numbers. Definitely, I've told you quantitative is all about numbers. So here we are going to focus on elections in Nairobi. So here we're talking about the significance. We are comparing the results of the voting in 2022 and the results of the voting 20. Hi everyone, my name is Rosemary Watetu. I'm the founder and CEO of Wall Street Africa Consultancy. Thank you so much for those who are subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Like, comment, and share. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you've not subscribed, please support your girl by subscribing to this YouTube channel, and also make sure that you always interact with my lesson, like, comment, and share. If you've not understood anything, always comment, so that for the next lesson I'll be able to answer you all the questions that you need. For this, today we are going to talk about quantitative research, where quantitative research is a part of a type of research, which we have qualitative and mixed research. So we have three types of research, which is qualitative, quantitative, and mixed research. So today we are going to elaborate more on quantitative research. We are going to make sure that everyone understands how we conduct quantitative research and what quantitative research means. I'll be able to give characteristics of qualitative research. I'll be able to give the types. We have questions involved in quantitative research. So come with me and enjoy this topic. Sit down, relax, and enjoy. Thank you. I'll try to explain what is quantitative research. So quantitative research is collecting and analyzing numerical data. So here we're going to talk about numerical data. We're not going to talk about the normal data, but here is in terms of numerics. So numerical data to understand a phenomenon, often with the goal of making predictions and testing hypotheses. So here it relies on an objective measurement and statistical methods to identify patterns and relationships in the data. So as we said, we are talking about numerical data. So here we are talking about numbers. It measures customer satisfaction on a scale, experiments that compare different treatments, and also observational studies that count occurrences of a specific behavior. So as we said, we are talking about measures. We are measuring in terms of numbers. So we are talking about numbers. We're talking about scaling, experiments, and also comparing the data. This study uses numerical data and statistical analysis to draw conclusions. So when you're trying to do conclusions, we work with numbers. We don't work with letters. We work with numbers. The majority and the minority, we have to work with numbers. The majority always win. So in simpler terms, it is a way of studying the world by collecting and analyzing numbers. It's like measuring things and using those measurements to find patterns, averages, and relationships. So when it comes to quantitative research, we are going to measure the numbers. We're going to measure the patterns involved in a certain survey, averages, and also the relation. How do you relate with a certain product? How do you relate with a certain person? Averages. What's the average of a certain product in the market? What's the average of a certain company in the market? Patterns. What's the pattern? What's the trend? What's the trend? Is it an increasing trend? Is it a falling trend? So these are the patterns. How often is a brand? How often is a brand going to be able to have those measurements? Think of it as a finding out, like how many and how much. So here in the quantitative research, we find out how many and how much of a something. So when you talk about quantitative, think about how many, like how many brands do you have? How many people are using in the market? How many people are satisfied with the product in the market? And also how much, like the quantifying the quantity, the pricing, all those. So we are going to talk about the quantitative research. So make sure you've understood that quantitative is all about numbers, is all about patterns. So we'll talk about the characteristics of quantitative research. When it comes to characteristics, it focuses on numbers. Definitely, I've told you quantitative is all about numbers. So here we are going to focus on numbers. So when we focus on number, we deal with numerical data such as statistics, measurements, and frequencies. So here we are going to measure statistics, measurements, and frequency. That is how we focus on numbers alone. The second characteristics is about objective measurements. So it aims to provide objective and quantifiable data. So here you'll be able to quantify the data, and you're going to be able to measure the objective of the survey that you're conducting, often using structured instruments like surveys and experiments. So here we carry quantitative in terms of objective. We do it in terms of surveys and experiments. We also have statistical analysis. The third characteristic, statistical analysis. Data is analyzed using statistical methods to identify trends, relationships, and draw conclusions. So here we're going to learn more about conclusions. We are going to learn more about relationships and trends. So we talk about trends. That is how we do the statistical analysis. The fourth characteristics of quantitative research is large sample size. When you have a large sample size, we can be able to do a qualitative research. So when you have a large sample size, we always narrow down to quantitative research. So quantitative research often uses large sample size to ensure the findings are representative of the broader population. So the large sample size will represent a broader population. It will be able to tell how far and how broad is the population and what the population says according to our survey. We do the general ability. The aim of the generalizing the findings to a larger population based on the data collected from a sample. So we do a general ability for the data collected from the sample size that was selected, and we are going to be able to understand more on how the quantitative structured approach. Quantitative research follows a structured approach with a clear research question, data collection methods, and analysis plan. So here it's all about the structure. The structure approach with it will help you to have a clear research question. It will help you to do a clear data collection method and analysis plan. You'll have a good analysis plan. Okay, we're now going to give examples of quantitative research. Where we have quantitative research, we have one example as surveys. Most of the people knows about surveys. So surveys is a company might conduct a survey to assess customer satisfaction with their new customer service initiatives by asking customers to rate their experience on a scale from maybe 1 to 5. So you are rating the experience on a scale. You have to rate using a scale. And then the second example is experiments. Experiment researchers could conduct a study to examine the effects of a new teaching method on student performance, measuring test scores before and after the implementation of the new method. So here we are doing the experiments to be able to understand the implementation of the new methods that have been done. We do the testing, and we maybe you can have the performance of what has been done. We can do the test scores. The third point is the correlation studies. A study might explore the relationship between hours of sleep and academic performance, gathering data on both variables and using statistical analysis to determine if there is a correlation. So here we do the academic performance, we do the gathering of the data, both variables and statistical analysis. Descriptive research. A study could analyze the demographics of residents, let's say like Nairobi County, such as age, gender, and maybe income levels. So here we are doing the analysis of a certain county. Let's say we give an example. We have so many counties in Kenya, but maybe we give an example of Kenya. So where you have to analyze according to the age, according to the gender, and according to the income that people and household receive. Longitudinal studies, researchers could track changes in student attitudes towards math over a period of time, collecting data at regular intervals to analyze trends. So here we are going to track changes, longitudinal research and studies. We are going to track the changes. We are going to, according to a period of time, we do collecting data at a regular interval. So we do an interval. We do a period of time where we track. It's called a tracking. Intervals are tracking changes with a certain product or maybe a certain brand that you want to track in the market and know how it's doing according to certain time, how it's doing according to intervals and the trends according to different durations and different times. Quantitative research is often used in fields like marketing, social sciences, and healthcare to measure and analyze data. And it often relies on structured questionnaires, experiments, and statistical analysis to test hypotheses and draw conclusions. So we say that it will be used in the marketing strategies, it will be used in the social sciences, and also used in the healthcare sector. So we are supposed to measure and analyze the data that is involved in it. Now we are going to give examples of questions that we expect to get in the quantitative research. Several examples, there are so many of them depending on the project, depending on the problem that we are going to solve, depending on the survey, it's all about what. So I'll give several examples that I've come up with. We have an example of a question that is a quantitative question. What is the average age of residents in Nairobi? So here we are taking the age gap of people in Nairobi. From what age to what age are they in Nairobi? Are the people of Nairobi from? And then we have what is the average income of households in Nairobi. So here we are talking about what they earn, the range of what the amount that they have. Are they medium? Here we're talking about the social class. Are they low social class, high social class, medium, where we group them from social class A to social class E. So that is how we do some of the questions that are in the quantitative research. We also have others that are comparative. Is there a significant difference in a number of people who voted in 2022 and 2025 elections in Nairobi? So here we're talking about the significance. We are comparing the results of the voting in 2022 and the results of the voting 2025. You might find there will be a difference because most of the time, not all of them will be voting for 2022, will be found at 2025 because of the others will have gotten the IDs, maybe there are death rates involved in between. There are others who have joined the group of voting. So there are so many comparative that we are doing. Is there a relationship between smoking and lung cancer rates? So when we talk about smoking, is it connected to lung cancer rate? So here we just drawing a comparative board. And then is there a correlation between the number of trees in Nairobi and the air quality? So here is also a comparative. We are comparing the trees we have around Nairobi. Are they enough to circulate air quality? Are they enough for our air pollution? Are they enough to get a good environment? Are they enough for the air quality? That is what we talk about. Another question is, how often do residents in Nairobi purchase, maybe let's say a common thing like milk? So many houses, maybe they need milk to make tea. So you're asked, how often do residents in Nairobi purchase like milk per week? So here we're doing the rating for per week. We need to know like how often and how effective is a new drug in treating a specific disease. So here maybe we have a drug in the market and we want to learn and know how often and how effective is it to human body, how effective is it to a certain disease. What is the impact of social media use on student grades? When it comes to social media, it's a thing that is going around in all the countries all over, and most of them using the social media as students. So you're asked, are they being affected by the social media use, or are they still okay? Are they gaining on the social media use, or are they losing on the social media use? Another question, this one is a scaling question. On a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with the current services in Nairobi? So there are so many things happening in Nairobi. There are so many services that are carried out in Nairobi. So you are asked, are you satisfied? And if you're satisfied, to what extent? How satisfied are you? Are you satisfied fully, very satisfied, not satisfied? So you have to rate on a scale. So for today, thank you for your time. Thank you for your listening ear. Appreciate for those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. And if you've not, kindly subscribe. And also, if you had the lesson, you've listened to me, kindly put the comments, go to the comment section and let me know what question do you have about the quantitative research. Let me know what do you want me to talk more, elaborate more on quantitative research. Do you have any comment about quantitative research? Maybe you know more about it. Do you want to enlighten people? Just comment there on the down box. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye and see you.